Before he was president of the URJ, before he was senior rabbi at Westchester Reformed Temple, he was the dancing rabbi here at Brooklyn Heights Synagogue, which remains ever a home. Rick?
So I have a million feelings, but I have two things I want to say. First thing has to do with Brooklyn Heights Synagogue. The second thing has to do with Rabbi Hara Person, and they are connected. Before this amazing, remarkable, classy synagogue came to be, we weren't always like this, my friends. We were like a Schlepper Synagogue a couple of doors down. And it was and remains one of the most inspiring religious communities on the face of the earth. I think that is not an exaggeration. And I want to just remember out loud a few things about that Schlepper congregation a few doors down that helped not just a few people find their way in this very complicated Jewish world. So that congregation a few doors down, they didn't have this thing that was very bureaucratic that said, well, we've never done that. I don't think we want to do that. And whatever that was, this congregation said, okay, let's see. It was an unbelievable gift as a religious community. Usually it's all about holding things the way they are. This place was never about that. Maybe we could have the first homeless shelter in New York City in a synagogue. Let's see. Maybe we could, as Harris said, maybe during the 1980s, instead of just feeling horrible about the AIDS epidemic, maybe we as a congregation were called to do something about it. And before Harris was in charge of all the liturgy, we had this high holiday prayer book that just didn't have the soul that we needed, so maybe we could make our own machzor for the high holidays. Well, let's try. And maybe we could reimagine what religious education could look like, and on and on and on. And out of that living laboratory, Jewish souls were allowed to find themselves, not just rabbis, but all of us. And that is an amazing spirit that helped not only attract all of you, but helped to attract the Person family. And now a few sentences about this rabbi. Now she told a little story. It wasn't as I remembered it. So just a little midrash on the text. We do that. That's part of our thing. So in the Rabbi's Manual of Central Conference of American Rabbis, Steve Fox, bear me out on this, I think it is true, it says that when the educator that you hire after a long while decides before one day on the job that she's not going to do it, there's one thing you may never do. This is in the Rabbi's Manual. You may never call her replacement on her honeymoon. Where in the world does somebody think that's okay? That's not okay. You don't do that. But somehow it felt that there was a call that had to go out. And this Rabbi Person, not then yet Rabbi Person, but boy, we were hoping this would be Rabbi Person. She said, really? You want me to run the school? I've never done anything like that. And I can tell you that sometimes in your life you have complete confidence that somebody is exactly the right person. And it's not you, it's them. That was one of those moments. Hara Person, not only could you do it, you could do it brilliantly. And the call went out, and Hara came. And she pretty much stuck around all these years. And what Hara found out, which she had already discovered as a bat mitzvah and as a confirmand, is that this place was willing to do things because, hey, you never know. It may be exactly what we need. And your ability, because you are supremely one of the smartest people on the planet, and there is no debate about that, Rabbi Harrison. That's simply a fact. But that's not all. You are brilliantly creative. You are absolutely one in the heart, one in the mouth. You are an incredibly present, sincere, real, and inspiring individual. And you were like that as the educator, because I would see you cooking up all this stuff that had never been done, and that was just Hara on an ordinary day. And you know what? You're not supposed to have favorites when there's a search process for the next chief executive of the Central Conference of American Rabbis. And I had nothing to do with that search process, and I knew that they would pick absolutely the right person. Just dwell on that thought for a moment. I think you're with me now. And I knew, just from all those years and all the things Hara had already accomplished, that everything she was able to do here with her creativity and her smarts and her neshama and her vision, she began to do at the URJ, and she's done brilliantly at the CCAR. But this is a new moment, Hara Person. And you're leaving this amazing, inspired, unique congregation led by outstanding and singular religious leaders and lay people you will never find better. But the call went out, and once again, Rabbi Hara Person said, yes, Hineni, I'm here, and I'm going to bring all those gifts. And what the blessing is for this, in a sense, tribute and goodbye, is a huge hello onto a platform for the entire Jewish people. We got big things to do, Rabbi Hara Person. We do. And there's nothing we can do alone that's going to make a difference in this moment. But what we can do all together and with the right leaders is going to shape a Jewish future that is going to be unbelievable. And we don't know what it looks like. But we're going to build on amazing strength. My colleague, Rabbi Steve Fox, who, again, 2 kids from Orange County, California. We have such confidence and love and trust in you and what you will bring and elevate and make possible, because you've done that at every step along the way, nurtured by the amazing Person family, this congregation, and the many circles that call you theirs. So, Hara Person, God bless you. Thank you for answering the call. Thank you for saying yes, and then yes, and then yes. And the artist that you are will be part of the leader that we need, who has a vision of what it might look like before any of us will ever be able to see it. Yasher koach, brucha haba.